Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all. And for those listening on the podcast, hello. We're going to be talking about 5-figure months as your energetic minimum. I love talking about energetic minimums, and I love talking. This is a lot of the work that I do with my clients is on the conversation of wealth energetics. And essentially what that means is like the energetics in which money responds to, right? And we are the ones that create that. It is a lie that this is something that is outside of us or outside of our control or something that we can't manage or maintain. It is a reflection of us. It is a reflection of our energy, our identity. And that's what we're talking about today. That's what we're going into. So 5 figures a month. And what I'm also going to be revealing inside this episode, inside this live stream as well, is the new program that I'm going to be teaching across April. We're starting very soon. So first, let's talk energetic minimums. Let's talk 5-figure a month minimum. What does that look like? How is that created? So money responds to us, right? Money is a responder. Money comes in as a byproduct. So when we can understand this, then money starts moving in response to who we're being. And whatever amount of money that you're currently making right now, let's just say it's around $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. Okay. So it's like in the mid 4-figure range, and you're making that every single month. And let's say your goal is $10,000 to $15,000 a month. So you're here, you want to be here. And in order to create that, our brain immediately, so our brain, here's the first thing that we have to keep in mind, is our brain is actively working against us, right? It's really comes down to like, whose side are you on here, right? But our brain is actively working against us because it sees this new level as unsafe and it wants to keep you safe. So your brain is actively going to be giving you these thoughts and these lies. They're lies, okay? They're not true. They're going to give you these, it's going to give you these thoughts. It's going to give you these things like, don't do that. This is going to happen. This is what you need to keep yourself safe. So it's always going to bring you back to like, no, this is comfortable. This is safe. Stay here. This is safe. Don't go over there. We don't know what's over there. We don't know what's going to happen over there. So stay here. That is in a nutshell what your brain is doing consistently. And then on top of that, and this is the real kicker, is we've got the subconscious brain. So the subconscious brain is like all of this shit, all of these shadows that are like, well, and it's not, you're not thinking this consciously. You're not thinking this in the forefront of your brain. This is like stuff that you've picked up on and just decided over the years. So it's like, well, if I make that much money, people in my family are going to start asking me for money. If I make that much money, and I've been taught that rich people are bad or evil, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be bad, right? Especially for the women that I work with. These are intuitive, powerful women, right? And we're big feelers, and we have big hearts, and we have big missions, and we care so deeply about our work. And so if there's any inkling of this being something that is bad, or us being bad, we're not going to want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So what's really important here is that we look at, yes, the brain, but also the subconscious beliefs that we're holding in the very back of our, in the back of our subconscious that's running projections. Like if you literally think about a projector that projects a movie onto a blank white wall, that is essentially what our subconscious brain is doing consistently all of the time, right? And for most of us, we know this. We're aware of this, right? It's like we understand to a certain extent, like this is just how things are. This is just how it is when our human is doing the human things, right? And so what do we do with this when we know that we're at this level and we want to be here? What do we do? What do we do with this information? We know about the subconscious brain. We know that our brain is kind of working against us, not kind of, actually working against us in a lot of ways, wanting to keep us safe from reaching higher and higher and higher and higher levels. What do we do with this? So this is where the wealth energetics comes into play. I see this as like in my head as a visual. I literally see it as like a thermostat. You know, those ones that you just stick onto a wall and you just like turn the dial and the heat goes up, right? You turn it up to 70, it goes up to 70, you bring it back down to 65, it comes down to 65. You're controlling the temperature of the house, of the apartment, right? And I actually love that analogy because it's just like wealth energetics. It is the unseen arts. It is the invisible arts. And that is what my work is in. It is in what you can't see. You can't necessarily go and see the room getting warmer. You just feel it. You can't see the room getting cooler. You just feel it, right? So this is the same thing. You're not necessarily, it's the energetics of this is not doing more, and it's not in over-actioning, right? It is in the way that you're feeling and who you're being. So a lot of this is internal. It's happening inside your body. It's happening inside your being. This is your identity. This is how you see yourself and how you choose to see yourself in relationship to money and receiving money, and not just receiving and attracting money. This is another thing I work on with my clients is it's not just about receiving money and having money come through, but it's also about having money and holding money. Because there are some people that are really good at attracting money and earning money, and it's like it comes in, it comes in, it comes in, but then they're not able to hold it. So it just goes out and it goes out and it goes out and it goes out, right? And that's another thing that I work on with my clients. And all of it comes back to what are the beliefs that you're holding subconsciously and how are you perpetuating this? Because everything in our reality is because of us. Like it's always us, right? Like it always comes back to us. What are we choosing to believe? How do we choose to see ourselves? How do we choose to see the world? How do we choose to be in relation to money, right? So being able to understand that and being able to see that and being able to like recognize that in a really beautiful way helps us to be in a different relationship with money. And that's all that this really is like you and your relationship with money, you and your relationship with yourself, you and your relationship to your business. Everything is a relationship. And all of it is connected, right? Like it's all connected in such a beautiful way. And so this is what I am revealing is I'm going to be teaching this 4-week mini mind. We're starting on April 17th, which is 2 weeks from now. And we're focusing specifically the entire 4 weeks on this work, raising your energetic minimum. And it really gets to be it's not necessarily easy to do, but it is simple. You turn the thermostat up on how much you're receiving every single month. And we do the work to get you there. We do the work of clearing and cleansing and getting rid of anything that's standing in the way. We get rid of all of the beliefs that tell you that you can't have this, that you're not worthy of it, that you have to work harder, that you have to earn it, that there needs to be more blood, sweat, and tears. It can't just be this easy. That's too much money. What am I going to do with that much money? Is it safe for me to have that much money? All of these thoughts that come up around money that are just our limitations and our limiting beliefs. Okay. And this mini mind, after the 4 weeks, you will be invited to join me in my year-long mastermind, which is Magic Mind, where we really get to do this work for an entire year together. You get close proximity with me. You get to be mentored by me literally every single week, either on Slack or on one of our live coaching calls. Like, this is the work that we're doing to really solidify and beyond wealth energetics, right? This is about your offers and your launches and getting support on that that and workshopping it together and having me in your corner. So that's the year-long mastermind. That's Magic Mind. But this mini mind for 4 weeks, we're starting in 2 weeks. We're starting on April 17th. And we're focusing specifically on raising your energetic minimum. Okay. So if you're inside the chamber or you're inside Magic Mind, you do actually have a special rate for this. So just reach out to me if you want to jump in. You do actually get like a special way to join this, because it's not automatically a part of either membership or mastermind. So the thing with energetic minimums is once it's been raised, it doesn't actually come back down. This is why when I work with clients who are starting their own business, but they've worked in like corporate or they've worked in a day job before, and let's say that they were making 6 figures in their day job in corporate, right? And they start their own business and they're like, I don't think I can make money. I'm like, hold on a second. You made 6 figures in your corporate job. And they're like, yeah, but that came from like my paycheck and that came from my boss. And I was working in a business. It wasn't actually my money. Money is money is money is money. This is all just energy. So if you could attract 6 figures in a corporate job, you can translate that over that energy, the energy of receiving wealth, into your business, because it is energetically the same, right? It is just, what is an open channel? You were a match to making 6 figures, and the channel and pathway that was open was your job. And now you have a business and that gets to be your open channel. I've even had clients manifest money through their husband or through their partner. And it's because their partner was just a more open channel than they were. And what we did was work on moving that channel to their business being the open channel. And then they started receiving money through their business specifically. Everything is money, right? And we do this at every single level, right? Whether you want to get to 10K months or 20K months or 30K months, whatever it is you want to create in your business, right? Whether you're going from like one-on-one work into group work, if you're going from group into like building digital courses, if you're launching your membership, right? If you're moving to like just having groups or having one-on-ones and groups, like whatever kind of structure you want to have in your business, all of it is correct. And all of it starts with this, is how do you see yourself? How do you see the way that you get to make money and your energetic minimum? So one of the things that I've seen in my own business is once I've created 5-figure months, I never came back down from it. And even if there was a month where like things were starting to kind of fluctuate a little bit, this is the thing, is this is your baseline. So this is your foundational level. When you understand how to make this money, you can make it no matter what, right? And yes, there are going to be some months that are just going to be maybe a little bit slower, or maybe something happens, like, but either way, you already have that understanding. You already know how to do this. It's kind of like when you're riding a bike or you know how to swim, it doesn't matter how long it's been. You might be a little bit rusty, right? Or like even playing a sport, but the muscle memory is there. There's a piece of you that knows how to do this. There's a piece of you where this is like, easy. I can do this. I've done it before, right? So this is you setting that as a baseline on the level of money. And when you know how to do this, and this becomes your baseline, this becomes your foundation, then no matter what happens, even if you end up starting a brand new offer, a brand new program, you're opening up a whole new line of income. Like maybe you go from coaching to you write a book, or you start speaking on stages and you want to be paid for speaking on stages, or you open a second business, something completely different. This is still your energetic baseline. It doesn't matter what you end up doing, because in the spiritual realm, business doesn't even exist. You are bringing out your purpose, your God-given purpose that is coming through you. So the way in which you get to receive the money is just whatever pathway is open for you to receive that money. And money wants to come to you because I believe, since this is our God-given purpose, that our missions get to be funded by God and the universe. It gets to be funded because this is the work we came here to do. This is part of our purpose. This is part of why we're alive, right? So that we can serve our people and share our gifts and be seen and known, right? And be able to connect with those that resonate with our work. Like, this is what gets me so excited to be able to do this work with my clients every single day, right? It's for me, it's for you, it's for all of us as a conscious collective. It's the community, right? It is community focused. So what we're doing inside this 4-week mini mind is you are going to learn exactly what needs to shift and how to shift it in order to create sustainable 5-figure, multi-5-figure months every single month. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna identify, so let's say that, like, let's come back to the example of, like, let's say you're making like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, maybe it goes up to like 7,000, 8,000, but you wanna stabilize $10,000 to $15,000 months as like your new baseline. You want this to be your new energetic minimum, okay? So let's say you're here and you want to be here. Now, this gap, like right here, this gap that's standing in the way of you being here and being a match to this is what we're going to work on. So this is your subconscious thoughts, limitations. These are your beliefs. This is what's holding you back, right? It's telling you, like, no, this is not safe. It's not okay. We can't go there. It's not available for us. Or like, if I do, something bad's gonna happen. Or I don't want to be seen as evil. I don't want to be seen as greedy. I don't want to be seen as like too much. Like some of my clients, their parents told them, like, make the amount of money that you can make to cover the bills each month, but more than that, you don't need more than that, right? Or like, don't become too greedy because that's not good for you. So whatever thoughts and beliefs and things we've picked up on, stories, experiences, like maybe you made a lot of money at one point, but then it ended up going away, right? Or you ended up spending it on something and you're worried that if you make more money, then it's just going to leave and it's just going to go away. And you're worried about that. And that brings up fear and anxiousness and this kind of like fear of abandonment and worry inside your body. So in your subconscious mind, it's actually safer for you to stay at $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month than go all the way up to $10,000, $11,000, $13,000, because over there, that feels like it would be scarier. Even though it's something that you want, it actually feels like it would bring up more disruption, and we don't want disruption and chaos in our lives. So if we're associating that with being even more, having even more disruption, having even more chaos in our life, we're not going to want to go there. We're not going to want to create it. We're not going to want it, even though it's something we desire so much. Right? Like, even if making $10,000, $11,000, $15,000 a month, like, you know that's life-changing money, and you know that it would change so much for you, right? The fear of what it would disrupt it becomes louder, right? It becomes bigger. And so this gap that we have here, standing between where you are now and where you want to be, that just becomes like this solid wall. So what we're doing in the mini mind is like, we're taking like hammers, we're taking sledgehammers, we're like sawing down this wall. We're like breaking down this wall. We're breaking down these limitations. We're bringing it down. We're bringing down the wall, right? We're breaking it apart. We're taking apart these limitations. And instead of feeling safe at the smaller amount, you're going to create safety and resilience at the higher level amount. So that way you feel fully safe making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month every single month. You feel fully you feel like, oh, this is just how it was always meant to be. It's like this exhale. It isn't like, oh my gosh, if I'm making that much money, do I need to work extremely hard? Am I deserving of that? Am I worthy of that? Because we tie earning and worthiness, and we tie all of this to a lot of my clients, it goes back to like the educational, like elementary school days or the high school days, right? Where it's like, I can't get there unless and until I've worked this hard. And so if that's our limitations, if that's our belief system, if that's what we're choosing to tell ourselves again and again and again, then money will always be associated with having to work extremely hard and to feel like we've earned it. And we'll never allow ourselves to actually receive magic money, the money that feels like it's falling from the sky, the amount of money that feels like it just like falls in our lap and is like, oh my goodness, this money just came out of nowhere. This money was like, it literally, the skies opened and it fell right into my world, into my bank account. That is the kind of money that we get to create on the other side of this. When you no longer feel like you have to earn it. When you no longer feel like you have to do anything to create it. When you no longer feel like money has to be tied to blood, sweat, and tears and suffering and sacrifice, and it has to be all this hard work, right? When we release all of that and we break the chains from that and we break down that wall comes down, that's when we're able to receive money in overflow. More money than you will ever need. That takes care of you and your family and your retirement and all the things that you could ever possibly dream of. This all is available to you when we do this work. So that's what we're doing in the 4-week mini mind. This is the 5-figure frequency mini mind, and the investment is $11.11. There's also options to pay it in 2 payments or in 3 payments. We're starting on April 17th, and this is the thing that we're focusing on throughout the entire time, is raising your energetic minimum. It's taking you from where you are right now, right? Like the example that I gave, to where you want to be, and anything that's standing in the way, anything that is like hindering you, preventing you, creating resistance, creating patterns. Like if you see patterns of like money comes in, but then it also leaves, right? Or like money comes in after I've worked really hard, but then like I'm exhausted and I don't want to do it again, right? Like these are patterns that we are here to shift, and you just get to decide. I'm on the other side of that. You just get to decide. I'm done with that. I'm blowing that up. I'm done with that, right? I am done, and moving forward and deciding and declaring. This is about you coming back to your power as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as someone that gets to command money. So this is what we're doing inside this mini mind, is you are commanding the flow and the wavelength of how money comes to you and at what levels, right? $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months. Because when you start seeing it that way and you stop putting money on a pedestal, it's not like, oh my gosh, $40,000 months. I would have to be perfect in order to make that amount of money. That amount of money is like, oh, like when you stop seeing it like that, and it's not this thing that you put on a pedestal, because there are people who look at like $40,000 a month and they're like, I couldn't even live off of that. Like that would be like crazy. That would be like, oh my gosh, something's gone wrong in the business, right? So just being able to see those perspectives of like $40,000 doesn't have to be something that's like untouchable, unattainable, unavailable. It's like, what if that is available to you and it desires to be with you and desires to find you, and you have to just open and let it in? Can you let it be easy? Can you let this process be fun? Can you let it be magical? Can you let it be a game? Can you gamify it a little bit? Can you bring in some pleasure? Can you bring in some like excitement and joy, right? Like this process doesn't have to be about, I have to earn it and work extremely hard and then follow all the rules of content and business and all these things in order to feel worthy and earn it. It doesn't have to be that, right? Can you let yourself like exhale from it a little bit? Like, oh my gosh, this money came in and it was so easy. Like it was just so easy. And it felt so good. And it was like, wow, it just came out of nowhere, right? That is the energy that we get to call in with this kind of money. And there's something so powerful about being able to do this again and again and again, because you don't just do this once, right? It's not like you want to be at $10,000 forever. You're going to want to rise $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, right? I remember my first $50,000. It was 1 year after I started my business, and it blew my mind. And then it was like, oh, it doesn't actually have to be this massive thing. It doesn't actually, $50,000 is like, what's $50,000 in 1 month? I can create it. And then I went on to make $60,000 and $70,000 in a month. And it's like your relationship to money and the way that you see money, the energetics behind it is going to be what dictates how it flows to you. So however you want money to flow to you, you get to decide that. You are the source. Money's not the source. It's not going to give you anything you don't already have. You have to be the one to be in this identity that is a match to money. You have to be the one that's like, I am deserving right now, not further down the line, not when I get there, when I have these many clients, when I have 10 more clients, when I make this amount of money, oh, then I'll be available maybe 2 years from now when I'm more experienced, blah, blah, blah. We always tell ourselves, like, when I do this, that I'm not now, not at this version of me, right? Can you see yourself right now? Right now. Can you see yourself as worthy of making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month? And this is actually what brings it in, is this radical amount of self-acceptance and self-love. That's like, of course I'm worthy. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that there was a version of me that thought that I wasn't. How crazy. How insane. Oh my goodness. What was I thinking? Of course I'm worthy. Look at me. I'm whole. I'm complete. I'm lovable. I am so worthy. I don't have to earn it. What do you mean? That's just a lie. That's a lie that we've been told, is that I have to work and earn it and it has to come from blood, sweat, and tears. But no, I'm worthy now. I'm complete now. I get to have it now. I am deserving of it now. Business is just a disguise for deeper self-love and self-acceptance and a coming home to yourself journey. That's how I always see it. It's like on the forefront, we're talking about money, and we're talking about growth, and we're talking about launches, and we're talking about all these things, and behind the scenes, it's loving yourself deeper. It's accepting yourself deeper. It's seeing yourself as worthy and deserving of everything and anything you want. That's really what this is all about. That's really what this is at the core. And when you can see that and when you can feel that, there's something that shifts within you. So I would love to invite you inside the 5-figure frequency mini mind. This is 4 weeks. We're going to be meeting weekly as a group. You also have a one-on-one call with me that you can schedule anytime between those 4 weeks. The investment is $1,111. That's $1,111. You can break that into 3 payments of $400. There's also a 2 payment option. And you can just DM me, MiniMind. I will send you those details and that information. And I would love to have you. This is 4 full weeks And there's going to be a week where we just go over your content, just content, energetic, and feedback auditing, as well as messaging auditing. So both energetic and strategic, which I like to bring into my spaces for the most part. And we'll really go into like, what am I feeling when I'm reading your content? What energy do I feel like you're in when you're writing content? What are the messaging shifts that are going to be optimal for you to bring in even more aligned clients? That's one of the weeks we're going to be doing that. And each of the calls, the trainings, we're going to also have an open Telegram chat in between the calls for coaching as well, is all going to focus on raising your energetic minimum, on shifting, expanding, growing you into the version of you that is go back to this example, at that version of $10,000 months, $15,000 months, and you receive it in a way that feels effortless and easy. You get to receive it in a way where you don't have to feel like you've earned it. This is what I want for you, because this changed everything. This changed my entire life. What my daughter gets to do, ballet and volleyball, and the house that we now live in right now that I'm recording this on, or in, I'm not on the house. The car that I just bought this, or at least early this year, like everything in our lives is different. The neighborhood that I get to live in, where I don't have to worry about walking around. I couldn't even take a walk in like one of the couple of the neighborhoods that I used to live in, where I would rent bedrooms. Like we couldn't even afford an apartment. It was a bedroom that I shared with other families all in one home. And that was our life. My energetic minimum was living off of food stamps and having a negative bank account. And now my energetic minimum is 5 figures as a baseline. Even if I don't even launch or sell anything, I make 5 figures just from recurring revenue, payment plans, subscriptions, clients that are in my world long term. And we're going to be talking about that inside the Mini Mind as well. All right, we're going to close it up here. I love you. I want the best for you. I want 5 figures as a consistent amount of sustainable money that just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing for you. And if you want to join the Mini Mind, it's 4 weeks. The investment is $11.11. This is really rare that I do things like this at special price points like this. So if you're feeling the pull, send me a DM with the word Mini Mind. I will get you the details and we'll go from there. All right? Okay. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Mwah. See you later.